Good. Raise your right hand.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
I do.
Have a seat. Go ahead, please.
Would you please state and spell your name for the jury?
Justin Smith, Sergeant, JustinSmith.
And where are you employed?
The Memphis Police Department.
How many years have you been with MPD?
15.
And what is your current assignment?
Homicide Bureau, detective.
I'm going to take you back to February 2nd of 2022. Where were you assigned then?
I was assigned to the Quality Assurance Unit.
Did you become involved in the investigation of the murder case of Danielle Hoyle and at the time the disappearance of Kennedy Hoyle?
Yes, 2-day-old infant Kennedy Hoyle was missing. That's correct.
And how did you become involved if you were in quality assurance?
Colonel Jolly, having learned of the missing child, walked through 170 and said, if you weren't busy, come help with the efforts to recover the child.
Was it an all-hands-on-deck situation?
That's correct.
Now, did you end up going to Mud Island?
I did.
And what prompted the search at Mud Island?
Information was received through the investigation that the child may have been at Mud Island.
Now, where were you on Mud Island specifically?
We ended up at a boat ramp on the north side of the island.
And what were the weather conditions that day?
Wet, rainy, and cold.
Now, by the time that you were out there, was it daylight or was it still dark?
It was daylight.
And describe for the jury the scene on Mud Island that morning.
There were several officers. Mud Island is a very long park. I'm sure you all are from Memphis for those who aren't. It's a residential island, a sandbar. On the west side, it is a long park, miles long, and has adjacent to the Mississippi River. At the very end of it, there used to be a boat ramp that you could put your boat at the mouth of the Wolf River and sail or boat if you want to. By the time I got there, there were several officers that had been dispatched from precincts, and they were doing what we call a grid search. They were walking the park, attempting to locate what would be the child.
And what agencies ended up converging on Mud Island?
Several. There was, of course, Memphis Police Department. There was Shelby County Sheriff's Department, Shelby County Search and Rescue. There was a search and rescue diving operation out of Brighton, Tennessee, among others.
And you mentioned the grid search, and is that being done by the officers on foot?
Correct.
Were there additional types of searches going on?
There was, they were rallying to search the water. There was also dispatch. We have drones. Our drones went up, and also the MPD helicopter went up, was checking the shoreline.
And were there also dogs?
There were search and rescue dogs.
And were paramedics on the scene?
There were paramedics on the scene.
And why were they there?
2 reasons. Should anyone become injured in the search, and also should we recover Kennedy and she needed medical assistance.
I'm going to hand you a couple photographs and see if you recognize them.
Thank you.
Do you recognize that first photograph?
Yes, this first photograph is the boat ramp, the entrance to the boat ramp. It was locked at the time. It's got a stop sign and it's in disuse, so it's dangerous to go there.
And the second photograph?
That is the actual boat ramp. It's overgrown, but there is a gravel and it's rocky, and it goes down. But yeah, that's what it is.
Your Honor, I'd ask that those 2 photographs be the next exhibits, 87 and 88. And if we could have that first photograph with the gate as exhibit 87, please. Permission to publish, Your Honor?
Go ahead, please.
Okay, Sergeant Smith, you've already told us a little bit about what this is, but now that we have it on the screen, can you describe what we're seeing to the jury?
That's the entrance to the boat ramp.
And moving to Exhibit 88.
That's the actual boat ramp. It's overgrown. It looks muddy, but if you were to walk on it, it's rocky underneath. It's just that weeds have overtaken it.
And the water that we're seeing right there, what is that?
That's the mouth of the Wolf River that empties into the Mississippi River.
And I'm going to hand you another photograph. And before you take a look at that, on that island, was anything of note found?
Yes.
What was found?
A small hat, like a beanie style hat, the kind that you would give an infant child when you release that child from care at the hospital. It was white and it had some design on it.
And if you'll take a look at that photograph, do you recognize it?
I do.
And what is that a picture of?
That is the hat.
Is that a zoomed out photo?
Yes, that's an overall photo of the hat.
All right, ask that that would be next exhibit, Exhibit 89. Permission to publish, Your Honor. Okay, so what are we seeing here?
That is the hat. The exhibit placard is marking the hat. It was the only piece of evidence that I recall being recovered at the scene. It's easy to spot because, as you can tell, it's white against a bloody background.
And where are we? Where is this photo?
Somewhere midway down toward the shoreline, right there at the mouth of the Wolf River.
Now I'm going to show you what's previously been entered as Exhibit 14. Do you recognize this photograph?
I do. That's the hat.
And is that a close-up?
That is a close-up photo, yes.
Now, I'm going to hand you another photograph. Do you recognize that?
Yep, this is an aerial photo.
And is that an aerial photo of that particular area where the Wolf River meets the Mississippi?
That's correct. You can actually see where the Wolf River's water meets the Mississippi water. There's a contrast of the silt. There's also, you can see the
I'm
boat
going to
ramp.
stop you 1 minute,
Uh-huh.
Officer. Judge, could we enter that as the next exhibit, Exhibit 90?
Sorry.
Sergeant.
Thank you.
Got excited.
Permission to publish. Yes, please. Now, Sergeant Smith, describe for the jury what we're seeing here.
My apologies. This is an aerial photo of the scene. You can see the Wolf River emptying into the Mississippi River. Very interesting because of the silt. There's a nice contrast. The parking lot that you see to the left side of the photo is the parking lot for the park. And if you go follow that forward, you'll see that it looks like a washout. That is the actual boat ramp. And then, of course, you see the street that leads to it. That goes off to 2nd Street.
Okay. Now, at the time, was there a suspect in the case?
From my understanding, it was.
Okay, and who was that?
Brandon Isabelle.
Now, throughout the search, were you receiving different information that was adjusting the search?
Correct. To drive the search and rescue effort, information was being put out to those who were searching.
At some point, did you have information that the child was in a car seat?
That's correct.
And then did that information eventually change?
It did.
Okay. And did you receive information that Kennedy was not in a car seat?
Yes.
Now, as far as, so this was on February 2nd of 2022, is that correct?
That's correct.
And did that search end up having to be suspended?
Yes.
And why is that?
Weather. It was very bad.
Was there an ice storm that moved in?
That's correct.
And was the search actually suspended for a couple days?
Yes.
Was Kennedy ever found?
No.
And at some point, did you receive information that there might have been a gun thrown in the river?
Yes.
And was that ever recovered?
No.
Officer Smith, I have a laser pointer now. If you could just point out on the exhibit, you mentioned the boat ramp. Can you point that out for us?
Sure. That's the boat ramp right there.
Okay. And is that the area where the baby cap was located?
That's correct. Almost right about there, a little bit forward a sentence.
And then, is Island Drive visible in this photograph?
That's correct. That's it right there. Island Drive.
Okay.
It's yet we can't see those.
Oh,
Yeah.
can
It's
you-
hard to see because it's a reflective, but can you see it right here? That little corner right there is Island Drive. You can see a red car parked there. You see that little red dot? That's where Island Drive moves towards 2nd Street.
And then that pavement area, is that the parking lot?
That's correct. That large paved area is a big parking lot. It's that way so that you could, well, I imagine park boats there.
I'll pass the witness.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
The cap, was that found close to the river? How
Somewhat.
close was it?
I didn't make the measurements. That would be a question for the crime scene officer, but close. You could walk there with a few paces.
Okay, so it was as close as meeting you to the river?
That would be an estimation. I wouldn't be able to testify to that.
Were you the one that found the cap?
No, that would be Sergeant Robinson.
Were
She's
you
now
there
Lieutenant
when the cap was
Robinson.
found?
Say again?
Were you there when the cap was found?
That's correct.
Okay, so not this far, do you?
I would say it's a fair distance. I would hesitate to testify to the actual distance, but at estimation, if I took 5 or 6 paces, I'd be in the water.
Okay, so about 18 to 20 feet,
Sure.
give or take?
Yeah.
That road to that boat ramp, that was off of 2nd Street, isn't it?
It's Island Drive. That it turns into 2nd Street if you go to the east.
Okay. Going back to that cap just a moment. Were there tracks down to the cap? Are there any photos of any tracks going down to the cap?
No, it was muddy, but that would be difficult to assess because it was also rocky. So you might not see footprints in that way.
So no tracks or footprints? That
No
were
tracks,
just
no footprints.
Noticeable?
That wouldn't be to my estimation, no.
On the cap itself, were there any DNA tests performed on that?
I would be able to testify to that. My only role was the scene investigation there at the boat ramp. Anything that occurred afterwards would be a question for the case coordinator.
And but you do collect evidence when you're at a scene, right?
Absolutely, yes.
And you collect evidence for that purpose, would you not?
That's correct.
Okay. And that cap was collected?
That cap was collected, yes.
Thank you. 1 minute, what? What was that photo taken, was it?
When was the photo?
No, when?
When? I can't tell you. I don't know. It wasn't the day of because the weather, I can tell you right now, is too clear. Also, the weather that occurred beforehand had swollen the Wolf River and the Mississippi River, so that shoreline probably is not accurate.
So where on that shoreline was the hat found? Cap found?
I'll use this laser pointer again. It would be at the boat ramp. This shoreline right here seems that the Mississippi River is significantly lower. There are rocks here that we had to climb down to check this area, so there was no beach. The water was higher.
Okay, so that's just kind of so we can see where the mouth is and where the Wolf River is, where the Mississippi River is.
That appears to be the purpose of this photo. An overview, correct.
Thank you. No other questions?
No regrets. Thank you, sir. You may go.